Hello and good morning, my crafty creatures. Let me adjust my microphone so we can actually hear me. Oh my goodness. It is Tuesday morning and I exist. Yeah, yesterday was the day off, but I had therapy. So when I have therapy days, I don't stream because I'm already this is a form of therapy, but it's not quite as intense. Ugh, I've had an interesting round. Um, so I was supposed to dual stream on Friday, and unfortunately, I lost my cookies. Um, AKA, I was very, very angry and was not socially acceptable to do anything. um, and yet, I still had to go out and be nice to other human beings. So, um, I got a new range. I got a. I'm super proud of it. We have a working oven now. Life is grand. Um, but the process in getting it was a pain in the ass because I, admittedly, I live on a rather narrow one-way street. Does it stop people from being idiots? Absolutely not. Can we get every city vehicle down here? Absolutely. We can even get the big 30-foot snowplows down this road. So, what the story I'm about to tell you frustrates me to no end. Like, we can get the highway plows down here, and we have two 90-degree turns at either end of the road, and the highway plow can fit down here. So, that being said, my delivery window for my new range was 1:30 in the afternoon to 5:30 in the afternoon. And like I said, I had the day off. I do not leave my house unless I absolutely have to. That's why I try when I have to go to like therapy. That's when I try to hit up the thrift stores. Or if I have to go out and get a medication, I try to schedule that around like when I'm already going out to go shopping because I don't like leaving my house. I do not like to drive. Um, I would be more than content if it didn't cost me my firstborn child to have stuff delivered to me. Now, I don't mind paying for this service, but it's super expensive and I'm not rich. So it kind of forces my hand that I have to do it myself. But I uh I was sitting at home, cra- crafting, cleaning, organizing, getting ready for stream with Dast. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we should have it there by like 1:30, 2 o'clock." I'm like, "Great, great. That'll give me enough time to still kind of go out and get my medications and not have to cram everything into the evening and be stressing by the time I get to stream start time." One of the things that I really like about streaming in the morning is I'm not going anywhere. I get up, I eat, I clean a little bit, I get my meds in my system, and I just kind of work my way into the day for streaming. And that's an easy thing. Like I generally don't have any chaos going on in my life in the morning. It's very nice. But so I was like, okay, 1:30, 1:30, 2 o'clock, we got this. And so, but the times kept getting pushed back. Now there were only 5 stops that this place had to go to. I don't know if they just don't know how to navigate. I don't know if they had to go all the way out to like the max 50-mile radius that the store offers. I don't know. But they had 5 stops and they just kept pushing the time back, pushing the time back. So around 5 o'clock, I'm like, oh my goodness, they might be a little late. Okay, that's fine. We'll work around it. As long as they're here by 7, things will be good. I can still get to the pharmacy on time to pick up my meds. Okay. Imagine my surprise at 5:30 when I get a notification that my stove has been delivered and I am in my house. And and I have afterthought. Some of the like, so I went into the store and spoke with the Home Depot people yesterday. So I have information after that. And so I looked around. I'm like, did they maybe stop by and I didn't notice it? Like, and they took pictures. So I had pictures. So I called the store and I'm like, I think they delivered to the wrong house. They said they delivered to me. Someone signed for it, and And I don't have my stove now. I don't buy a lot of appliances. All of my appliances that like the last set of my old appliances, they're pushing 20. That's how long I've had my house. The first year I lived in my house, all of my tenants broke my shit. And it's why I don't rent rooms out to people anymore. Like, I really have to like you to open up my home to you to let you stay now, because they broke everything. So I had to replace, within the first year of buying a house I really shouldn't have been able to afford, and actually really couldn't afford, hence why I had tenants. Um, and they broke all the appliances. So they're all pushing 20. Washer and dryer, the last holdouts, and they're next. Um, so I'm panicking because I've paid for this stove. I live in a shitty neighborhood, and I just got notification that it was delivered. Now I have two houses undergoing renovation in my area. Godspeed to them. They're going to be transition houses, and I'm really, really hoping some cool people move in and succeed. So we get down there. We get down to that, and hmm, that's funny. Okay. Um, I'm just gonna kind of improvise because I realized I'm not at all where I should be. I'm gonna fix that a little bit. So I I call up Home Depot. I call up the store, and I get a actual human being. Uh, and I'm like, look, I don't have my stove. Like, it said it's been delivered, and I don't have it. And I see that there's an incoming ad break, so just say ads when it hits. Oh, I guess. Oh, wait, let's see. What does that say? Oh, okay. Okay, so anyone who's subscribed, I'm waiting to continue my story till after my ads go away. Um, because I try, you know. There's that. Here. I just had to do some creative stuff. I'm actually going to be almost done with this particular line here. So there's that, and I got that one done. Now we can move on to here. Okay, so ads are over. So I call the store. I talk to the people, um, and they have to call because it wasn't an online order. I actually went to the store and I ordered it in the store, but it could only be delivered because they had to order it and then ship it to my house, which is very confusing. And I learned quite a bit in my conversation with the customer service person, and I learned a lot of tips and tricks that I'm hoping that I can help other people understand what's going on, and that how we can maybe help each other. And I'm not saying like if you get shitty service to do this, but just to have a little bit of understanding as to how things are working behind the scenes. So like if something happens, yeah. Um so they call where they need to call, and they call me back. They're like, "Oh yeah, they got a little behind. They'll be bringing it. It should be over to you in about half an hour." And I'm like, "Okay, that's that's not ideal, but I can get, because it's 6 o'clock at this point, so it's encroaching on my nervous 7 o'clock time, and I'd already pushed stream back a little bit. So I I did that. Um, and 7 o'clock roll. So I wait an hour. I wait an hour. 7 o'clock rolls around, and nothing. No phone call from the delivery people. Just radio silence. So I call the store again, and I'm like, "Hey, I was told that they were going to call me within 15, 20 minutes, and I waited an hour. What is going on?" Because I had disconnected my stove. I had prepared everything. All these guys had to do was walk up my stairs, walk into my house. The one hitch is they would have had to pick the stove up a little bit because my straight shot to my kitchen has a stair in the way, which we're working on it. Like I in the future of the house, the door might be the space might be different, but for now, it's a little bit of a step up straight into the kitchen. I measured everything. I made sure everything was wide enough for them to get in. Gucci, like in, out, disconnect. Woo! There's nothing they had to do but bring it in and take the old one out. Nope. Um, so as I'm on hold the second time, I I get a phone call from the delivery people, and they're like, "Hey, are you the first road or the second road? Because my road is shaped like a U. It's a one-way road. It's shaped like a U, and about in between, there's a road that cuts right behind my house. It kind of splits the neighborhood in half. It cuts right behind my house, and it's the exact same name except it has Avenue after it. And I'm like, seriously, it must be a 911 nightmare. Um, so I tell them, well, it's all the way down. I'm sorry about that. But do you need any help? Do you want me to come stand outside? Anything like that? They're like, no, no, we're gonna dolly it down because we can't get the truck down here. We have a 30-foot box truck. And I tell them, I'm like, you can get the truck down here. I promise. You won't get stuck. And they're like, no, 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 it's too icy now. Mind you, it was above freezing. And I'm like, it's not really that icy. You can get the truck down here. I'm trying. I'm like, we've gotten. I get a 3 cubic foot dump truck down here twice a year. Mind you, it's in the summer, but at the same time, it's like I still see UPS and FedEx trucks going down my road, and they are 30 foot. They're 30-foot box trucks essentially. They're not the same type of box truck, but they're 30-foot box trucks. And so I'm like, okay, and I don't see them. They're like, oh yeah, we can see your house, and I'm outside looking for them, and I can't see them, and I'm like, okay. And they finally make it around the corner, and then and it's sorry. At this point in time, I'm just so put out. And what makes it worse is these delivery drivers are acting like I am the bad guy for making them do their job. Um, and I wasn't even being that demanding. I just wanted my fucking stove. Um, I mean, we haven't had a working oven since July, and and all we wanted, all we wanted, was a working oven, and we had I had yeah, it was just very frustrating. So they got here, they acted all put out because it was a Friday, and it was at this point in time it was almost 7, and I was beyond done. That Get it in. I just tell them leave it and go, and they're like, oh well, we can't pick up your old appliance because we can't get it up the hill. I'm like, that's fine. We'll put it out on the deck, and when you guys have a moment, come get it because paid for removal, and and that's what I wanted. Um, and it here it is. It's Tuesday. And it's still on my deck. Um, so we're gonna and we had the weekend. I had the weekend to cool off and vent about it a little bit. Discord was very supportive. I know that I now have a small crew of well, I'll give us. a couple of ninjas, and then Mama, because Dragon and Pocket, I think, could be sneaky about it, but Mama will jump out with a an AR-15, and and there will be no secrets about her intent. But I think everybody else could be a sneaky ninja about it. And so I had my crew backing me, but it was a very frustrating time, and I cooled down. I had time to collect my thoughts and try to be an adult about it and calm down and try to work for a better resolution to the situation instead of just acting out of anger, because I was angry, and I allowed myself that anger, and I feel really good. Like I didn't like have to focus it at anybody. I didn't have to be mean to anyone. Just allowing myself that feeling of anger, and just talking about how and what was making me angry. And yes, it did rile me up, reworking what was making me angry, but it also allowed me to feel the feeling and move through the feeling. Yes. I'm sorry, Jules. Like, and waiting on the cops can sometimes take forever. Um, so I went to Home Depot. I'm not even gonna mask who it was. It was Home Depot who did this. And apparently Lowe's is just as guilty. Just not in my area, because the Lowe's in my area does all of their stuff in house. Even if you order online, the item goes to the store and is delivered by people in the local area, like who are employed through Lowe's, and that's fine. Like, and so I went in to have a conversation. And I walked up to the customer service desk, and I'm like, no one wants to hear this as the start of the conversation, but can I please speak with a manager who is in charge of or has some knowledge about the deliveries? And the girl looks at me, and she had gorgeous, like, she had dark hair. She I think it was brown. I think it was a dark, dark, dark brown. It wasn't black, but she had it dyed purple on the underside. So it was just so neat, and like, oh, I was fascinated with her. And I made sure to compliment her. I'm like, oh my God, I love your hair. Because I really did. Like, it was gorgeous. Like, it was the normal color on top, but underneath, like, it just was it was purple. It was just really cool. Um, and uh, and so I have a conversation with the I guess it was the front end manager, and I caught her at the end of her shift too. So I felt really bad because I was talking to her, and I'm like, I'm not angry, which was true. I'm not angry about the situation anymore, but I wanted to save them a little bit of hassle from someone who might actually be more angry and needy and demanding. Um, and I was like, look, this what happened here was unacceptable. Um, and I need you to know that it's happening, because while I seem pretty chill about it, I was very angry. And I want to give you guys the opportunity to be able to fix your mistakes and not get pinged by the corporate overlords who have no idea what's going on. And there's also the chance that like, the store didn't have any idea what was going on, because sometimes, and this is something I learned, sometimes when a review is left, if it's like one, like, I've learned that anything from 1 to 4 stars, they get a zero. Like, if it's not 5 stars, they get a zero. And if they get 5 stars, it's 100%. And I'm like, that's not very fair. Because if you get 4 stars, like, I could see, like, hey, everything was great except this one thing. But the manager was thanking me for coming in and having a conversation, because people who do it online, they'll leave a 4 star review and no comment. And then when it gets down to the people at the actual store, they've blurred out who it was, They blurred out the order number and that, and if you don't leave a comment, there's no way for improvement to occur. So you're getting a 0, and you don't have any way to improve your performance because you don't know what you did wrong, and you can't reach out to the person to be like, hey, what could make this a 5? What could we do for you to make this a 5? And that's not fair to the workers, because if you want people to be better, you have to give them the opportunity to grow and learn and be better. Now, not everybody does this, and this is a harsh reality that I have been facing, is not everybody wants to grow and be better. And it's very frustrating because a lot of it is just such easy shit. But that being said, I wanted to have a conversation, and I'm like, just make it like a little bit of a trainer. Like, be like, hey, just so you know, if they order from the .com or the sale is through the .com and you have to do all this stuff, offer to have it shipped to the store and ask them if they have a truck. Or do you need it for delivery XYZ? Because had I known, because it was clearly stated that the sale that I utilized had to ship to your house. And the front end was like, no, we could have shipped it to the store and then you could have come and picked it up. And I'm like, that would have been nice. I could have borrowed my father-in-law's truck and we could have picked it up. But that's neither here nor there. I learned a lesson. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. John. Uh, yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, Jules. Like, your neighbor needs to find a car fire. Okay, so. But that was all that. That was my weekend at work was very disheartening. I had a couple. I had one person that I really really enjoyed. She had recently moved out. She passed away. Um, and I read her obituary, and I was very upset with her family because they talked more about themselves in her obit. Like, what we learned from her about her in her obituary was she was from insert town in Maine. I can't remember it off the top of my head. And she worked in sales and retail, and she brought smiles to people, which was true, absolutely. But then the remainder of the obit was all of her surviving family and their spouses and how sad they were, and uh um so it was very frustrating. Like, I know that when my grandparents died, my name wasn't listed. It was my dad and his siblings and all of their families, and that was the wording. Is like, uh, my dad's name, his wife and family, my aunts and uncles' names, wife, husband, and family. Like, it just, yeah. And see, this is why the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I'm just, it's unfortunate and it's frustrating, but that's the truth of it all. Okay, so three. Um, and then another gent a gentleman passed who had moved out quite a bit ago. Him and his wife had been married since just after World War II. He had served in World War II. Um, and he passed away. I didn't get to know him as well because um, they, they their family was very nice. They were very nice people. Um, but while they were while they were at the facility, I wasn't put in the neighborhood that they were living in too often. I don't know why. I think it's because I wasn't working the desk, and at the time, that's the neighborhoods that the desk was on. So, oh. But we have one more lady who is in the process of, and it's just rough. Um, she went out because she had pneumonia. They discovered double pneumonia, so pneumonia in both lungs, which which I find amusing. To call it just pneumonia if it's in one lung, but it's double pneumonia if it's in both, which amused me to no end. Um, but she they found a blood clot, and she also has a blood disorder, so they can't treat the blood clot because of her blood disorder. So she is, and this was Sunday that I found out about this. So there's a good chance that when I go in this evening, I will find out that she has passed. Yeah, yeah. When horses run around and destroy things, having a paper trail is definitely handy. But tonight and tomorrow, I get to be on desk, so I get to do some stuff, and then Thursday and Friday I'm on cart, and I get to do some stuff there too. I got my Charizard done. I'd show him off, but he's downstairs, so he's super cute. I intend he the the pattern was for a Mega Charizard, um, and I didn't have the energy. Like the tater tot that he's going to is 5 years old. So I'm like, I'm not gonna do all this fancy work. And I'm not putting any wasn't putting any wires in him. The crochet that I do is more sculpture than it is toys. I can absolutely make anything that I can make without wire for it to be kid safe. I just have to know it's going to a kid. Um, and so Charizard does not have any wire, so he all his fancy details would be lost because he doesn't have anything holding up to show off the details. So I downgraded him to a Charizard, which just was leaving off a couple of horns and some um, hand wings. Yeah, it really is like Peepaw. It's rocking a hard place. You can't really do anything except make them comfortable, and that's I'm hoping that's what the family did. Um, but I don't know because I had yesterday off. Mhm. Okay, so I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow because it's Wednesday. Um, I might be hanging out in a Discord chat room though. Um, Thursday and Friday, I have every intention of streaming. My normal Thursday 9 to noon and Friday 10 to noon. I don't have any surprise. I don't. Well, I don't know if I have any surprises because that kind of defeats the purpose of surprise. I don't have anything planned. I fully intend on streaming. Um, and it's gonna be Captain Penis. I know I haven't really worked on Divine Instinct a whole lot, but at the same time, uh, life happens, and it's frustrating sometimes. Tomorrow I'll probably pick away at Divine while I'm hanging out or doing before or after work stuff. Um, the remainder of this month for my at least for my crochet stuff, I'm working on one more Meadow Dragon, one more that I'm gonna get done for my craft fair. Um, and I have all its shapes picked out. I have the colors picked out. I just gotta, I just gotta get going on it. So for presents for February, March, it's gonna be a combo. I'm making an Umbreon, and I'm going to make another evolution. I don't know which one it's gonna be, because I do have a Vaporeon. I think I have a Flareon. I don't have regular Eevee, but I'm pretty sure I can find it. But I'll show you what I have done of Umbreon right now. So it's actually going to be close to the actual size of, maybe a little smaller, maybe a baby Umbreon. But this is the February March is going to be an Umbreon and maybe another evolution. But this is what we got going on. Um, and actually, I think, no, I don't have the ears done yet. But um, I need to go buy some felt. Um, but and I'm gonna be completely honest, I still have not shipped out anything yet. I just, every time I think I have 5 seconds to sit down and focus, I was wrong. Hopefully there's no protests going on with shipping and whatnot. I'm hoping to get them out, because I have surprises I have to add to each one of those boxes. I have to pack them a little better, and I have surprises. Um, but I'm hoping to get them out this week. 1 second. Oh. The curse of being left-handed. Yeah, sometimes write over what you wrote. Um, and I promise, everything I have them. They're sitting in their boxes, like quite literally sitting in their boxes. I've just been overwhelmed between work and existence. It's really not even funny enough. For once, it's not even about shipping costs. It's just every time I think I have a second, I'm wrong. So I also am going to be working on some barkers. I am transitioning from Facebook, and I'm going to be using more Blue Sky. Now, if you're on Blue Sky for this particular stream and everything like that, it's Raw Creature Create, because they have a limit. I couldn't even get Raw Creature Creates. It's Raw Creature Create on Blue Sky. I'm working on getting used to the formatting, so I'm not doing a whole lot of posting just yet. I'm trying. I'm trying. um, I am starting to reach that point in my life where these newfangled gadgets, which I like Blue Sky for its interface and whatnot, but it's just, it's new, and I'm not. Well, I'm glad that you live today. See, and through all of this, it like so with all the death and sadness that I have been encountering the past couple weeks, I'm not phased. Um, I don't, and I know it's not ridiculously normal. Um, but for me, death doesn't phase me. Um, I unless it was ridiculously tragic, I don't feel bad for the person who has passed because they are no longer feeling. I feel bad for the families, but at the same time, um, I know that it is a part of life, and so if you ever come to me with that, and Jules already knows this, because this was one of our I'll call it our bonding moments, um, is when people die, I'm not sad. That's just the short end of a long story. I'm not sad. I will grieve and I will respect, but I'm not sad. Um, and sometimes in that it makes me seem like I'm an absolute twat. But in other areas, it makes me able to get things done. Um, I won't say that I don't cry when people die because I get affected. Um, but it after someone has passed, they're no longer here to feel the pain. They are in a better spot, no matter what you believe, because they're with them not being on this level of consciousness, they are no longer in pain, they are no longer suffering, and if it was unexpected, I at least hope it was fast, because there's no reason for those kinds of things. Like there are tragedies, I get that. It's the building, growing, and feeling and processing that the rest of us have to go through that causes the pain and the grief. And sometimes you got to do some pretty shitty things that you really don't want to do, and that's where I come in handy. Is with my friends and my family. I'm the one who does the stuff that nobody wants to do because they're grieving. I grieve later on. I'm the person who 6 months later will have a mental breakdown. Um, but in the moment, I can do the things that need to be done because they need to be done. And I can tell people the things that they need to hear, and they don't need to, and they don't want to hear, but they need to in order to move forward in their lives. And so I acknowledge that around the topic of death, I am not the most sensitive person, but I am probably one of the most supportive um, people. And being sensitive and supportive are two different things. It's kind of like being kind and nice. I am a very kind individual. I'm not very nice about it. That's why, like, if someone falls over and I witness it and it's hilarious, I'm going to laugh. I will help you up. I will make sure you're okay, but I will laugh. If you need to go to the hospital, I'll try to stifle my laughter and I'll get someone to help you out. But if you fell and I saw it and it was funny, I'm gonna laugh. Um, if if you're on the side of the road, and you have a flat tire, I'll be the one to stop by and help you. And I should have yesterday. I saw a car with its flashers on stuck in the road. I had an appointment I had to get to. And I'm sure my therapist would have been like, yeah, yeah, no problem, take your time. But in my brain, I had to get to that appointment. But when I came back, they were all set, so it worked out. But with all this death and sadness going around everywhere, um, I've been trying to to be kind and caring and thoughtful. Um, Sometimes it works for me, sometimes it doesn't. Um, and I tell people I fall off the ground. Um, I can be standing still and I've tripped. So it I get it. I understand. And I'll laugh at myself. I'll be like, "Woo, need to lay off the booze there." Um, I get a few laughs out of that because everybody and their mom knows I don't drink. And I do have alcohol in my fridge and I can drink. I just opt not to most of the time. So okay. And I'm not getting paid for this, but I need to share it like real bad because I keep meaning to, and I forget. So this is as of me these words leaving my mouth. I've only found it on actual PC/laptops. Um, I use, and it's because I kept seeing a fucking advertisement for it that I decided to try it. Um, it's a Chrome extension, and yes, you can boo hiss. It's probably an extension on other browsers as well. It's called Pi. Now, I was very skeptical. Like, and I use this. I'm not getting any sort of feed kickback or anything like that. I was skeptical, but I'm like, I'm tired of seeing these ads. So I got the app to stop the ads telling me to get the app. It worked. Like I knew exactly what they were doing. And I was like, okay, so if this works, this will bring me sanity. And because I watch a lot of YouTube videos, when I'm not on stream, I have YouTube up and I'm watching home renovation ideas or the time lapse, like yard cleaning, the time lapse renovations. I'm watching a lot of documentaries. I'm watching a lot of um, political opinion, political insight conversations. Um, and on at least on my desktop because I can't find it and I can't find it for my phone or for my tablet, but it takes the ads out and it makes YouTube on my computer just so much more enjoyable. So it's Pi. It's purple. And it has a lot of neat features that I just haven't given two flying fucks about exploring. But um if I had to suggest an app to make the ads stop, specifically in YouTube, I haven't really paid. Well, it actually it takes off like a lot of ads in Amazon and stuff like that. Like it takes the advertisements, it takes the sponsored links out, and I don't like. They're like, oh hey, you can make money if you actually see them. That's not why I did it. I only did it for the YouTube aspect. I didn't really care about the websites. Just scroll through them, whatever. But it's a great add-on. And again, I am not at all being sponsored by them. It's not one of those hokey. Yeah, I didn't believe it either because I was last night. I was like, I have to remember to say this. I have to remember to talk about it. I have to. I have to. I have to. How cheesy am I gonna be? Because I don't I don't speak for something unless I've actually utilized it. So I have and I still currently have it on my computer and in use. So it it works. It does what it says it's going to do. Is it perfect? No. But at least for YouTube, I don't see a whole lot of commercials. And then like at night when I have my tablet and I have my phone and I'm watching the videos there and an ad pops up, I'm like, what is this shit? And then I remember and I'm like, I wish they had it for the phone and the uh the tablets, but it's a browser extension, so it's not for in the apps. So we're working on we're an hour in, and I'll talk about the actual crosses. I'm working on color 803. Um, Most of the colors that aren't black or 939 on this page are filling in the different shadings of the ear. So it's a lot of different shades of blues, blue grays, um, lots of blues and blue grays for the ear. So that's what we're working on. I found a couple counting errors, and oh well. I uh I was watching a video this morning, um, talking about, there's an Instagram account that I actually follow, and it's called Cheap Houses for Sale, and I saw a video talking about it. I'm like, oh, I follow this channel, and I don't really pop on Instagram too much, so the fact that I know what it is, and so and I went to it, and it was this young lady being like, I've seen this channel. It's very addicting. But does anybody actually buy these houses? And she found someone who bought one of the cheap houses on the website. And oh my God, it was such a gorgeous house, such good bones. And she's talking about, yeah, it's gonna cost a lot. This is what I do. And I'm like, this reminds me of my house when I got it. And yeah, like it brought back all my brain fuzzies. Last night I had been watching a guy who is restoring a couple of villas in the Swiss Alps, a couple of stone cabins in the Swiss Alps, and and just watching his process. Like I have a couple things that uh, I needed ideas for it and on how to do them. And the Swiss Alps thing turned into a guy who bought a house in uh, on a remote island in Canada. He was in St. Joseph's Bay, and I'm not sure which coast that's on because I'm not great at Canadian geography. He didn't mention anything other than St. Joseph's Bay. I think Nova Scotia, just based on how. Sorry, guys. Based on his northeastern Canadian accent, because the northwestern Canadians have a different accent. It's kind of like Maine and Boston. It's you can hear it, but it sounds very similar. Um, I think, but I could be wrong. I could have gotten my sides of Canada mixed up. Um, but he bought a house sight unseen, and I was watching his foundation work because I currently am building up for my summer project, which is a my addition does not have a basement underneath it, so I have to get underneath my addition this summer, and I have to get it supported on something other than the rotten sill that it is currently being supported on. Um, I'm probably going to spend close to $400 on supports alone just to get it off that sill, get the weight off that sill, so I can continue to shut my doors in my house. Because the sill of this addition is connected to the inside sills of my house, and now that it's rotten and it's starting to tilt down because it's starting to break, it's where it's still good is pushing up in my house. So I'm gonna be taking a Sawzall here soon and disconnecting the sill from the addition, that big sill from the addition, but not until I have a line of support um, for it to rest on, essentially. Um, and I was watching him do his unbasemented, his foundation work without a basement, and it was giving me confidence that I could do it because I've done foundation work at my house, and it's still holding up strong almost 10 years later. So I have confidence, but I worry about it. Okay, so I'm right there. I just did that, so down one, and then a two, down one here. I'm trying not to lose my spot either. Yeah, as I'm sitting here, like after sharing my Home Depot story with you guys, I'm sitting here and I'm going. I still feel like I'm still at ease. I'm calmer. Like I think I needed that. I needed to have that processing of rage. I needed to have that rage, and then I needed to process it because I feel so much calmer. Um, there's a lot less anxiety. Um, the anxiety is not all gone, but just being able to sit and not have to worry about some things. It could be also that I now have a working stove again, and it makes a couple of things in existence easier. After stream today, I'm gonna go put my new TM, TPM, TMP, my air pressure system on my car. Those came in the other day. Those came in yesterday, but it was too cold. And today, so if you're a northerner, you will understand that when I say today is going to get into the mid 40s at this time of year, you understand exactly what I'm saying. For those of you who are not keen in on what it's like, is because 40 degrees is cold for you. Um, it is super duper nice to have a day at the end of February that is above freezing, and I mean, it's not super sunny outside, but it's not it's not fucking cold. Like the air does not hurt my lungs. So after stream, I'm gonna go make sure all my tire. I'm actually gonna disconnect my battery and discharge my car to see if I can get all the fucking sensors to turn off. But I'm gonna do some little car work after stream today. Okay, so there's a drop of two, and then we go over. So once I'm done 803, I am going to tackle the beast that is black, or 310, on this page, and it is completely the upper half, like from there all the way to the end. It's like this entire corner is just black. So I'm also trying to decide which project I want to bring to work. So here are my options. I have created the accessory parts for Baby Dragon with one of my custom yarns. I'm gonna do a black one and a white one, so I'm gonna have a black version and a white version of the cute Baby Dragons, um, with the custom yarn color. They're my limiteds because I can't recreate the yarn, and I only made a small batch. So And it is the last week of February, and I'm not going to hit any of my preconceived goals of either cross stitch. So we're just gonna see where we're gonna get. But also, okay, so there's baby dragon parts, and then or or my meadow dragon parts. Um, hello, hello, miss. I heard you got all kinds of yarn. Ah, I have. Uh, Once I get into like this mode here, I don't peep. Not till I'm done. Okay, so we got four down. But I'll peep later. No, I'm gonna. I think Saturday I'm gonna go over because Saturday husband creature is going to go hang out with friends, and I'm gonna go wander aimlessly around craft stores. I haven't had to go to Idiot World anytime recently. Like I'm kind of pleased with how I've managed to alter my shopping so I don't have to go there. Yes, unfortunately, I still do have because in my area it's Sam's or BJ's, and I just BJ's is I don't know if it's just inconvenient to get to, and husband creature has the Sam's membership, so it's just like whatever. So, well, as much as I try not to support the Walton family, unfortunately, there's still a little bit of support going on. I'm gonna hit up Joanne's because there's one thing that I've been eyeing for 3 years now. Keep hoping that like it'll go on sale, and it hasn't. So I'm going to purchase it while it's still available, full price or not. Because honestly, guys, most of my yarn do I have I gone to Joann's to buy yarn? Absolutely, I have. 99% of my yarn comes from rescues from thrift stores or gifts from family or as payment. Um, because I do barter when people want to pay me and I'm like, no, I made this for you because I like you. I will accept yarn as payment. So I don't buy a whole lot of yarn. Um, because I like to rescue it from the thrift stores and see what I can make and see what kind of things that I can get. For example, let me see if I can find it real fast. So yesterday I had a wild thrift store find. So this is going to be the next meadow dragon, the baby pink and the hunter orange, both thrift store finds. This was a full pound cake. Not well, it wasn't cake. It was one of the big skeins. But my cake winder made it beautiful. So I found some really cool. I don't know which camera to show it on. Really cool yarn. So I think I can get a small baby dragon out of this stuff, at least his accent colors, and this stuff too. These are all going to be they're gonna end up baby dragon parts because they're not big. They're not big skeins. Though I think one of them could probably be the body parts of a baby dragon, and I could just do the accents in black or white, which would be cool. And then so this is a sign. What I'm about to show you has been there for a month. And I went, it's a sign, because when I first saw it a month ago, I'm like, oh, hey, this is cool. I don't really need it though. But a month later, I come back and it's still here. It's some, and mind you guys, I don't even really like the plush. I'm getting used to it. I can work with it. But if someone requests a plush commission, I have some colors going on. I got a whole thingy of the Bernay blanket in whatever this color is, and then red. And then I got some Bernay velvet. And if I'm saying it wrong, I know, I'm sorry. And I got a whole thing of that, and it was, what was it? It was $10. So yeah, I like the red. What attracted me was the red velvet, because I make cardinals out of those. Like, I'll use that kind of thread to make red cardinals. They're very popular. Yeah, well, and that's how my brain translates it, is Bernay. Um, but is it how is it not supposed to be said? Let's see. Oh, we got two. And I'd show off Charizard, but he's downstairs, and I don't feel like doing stairs right now. People say it Burnett. It doesn't look burnt like Burnett though. I'm guessing. I'm guessing that comes from being raised in an area that has a lot of French people. Like, okay, so there's a last name. It's spelled Auger. Now, in English, that is auger. In French it is auger. So for the longest time, I would call the tool that is called an auger, I was calling it an auger, because when I saw it written out, that because I had teachers, their last names were auger, and obviously I can read and spell and stuff like that. So I just put two and two together and thought that the tool was called an auger, and I was corrected by someone down the line, and they're like, that's an auger, and I'm like, okay. Oh. um it's like DMC. Their full name is like Diamet de something. And it's German. It's a German name. Because that's where their factory is. Oh, no, it's French. It's French. They're Diamant. Yeah. Uh yeah. But people apparently it got shortened to DMC because people were having issues. I personally, I want to say it properly. I don't care that my poor English mouth sometimes has trouble. Like, um, when I was in college, there were a lot of I worked with a lot of the foreign exchange students. One of my RAs, her name was Annika, uh, and it was not spelled how it was pronounced. And so I would, I was awful about it. I was like, no, we need to sit here till I get it right. And I got it right. So, but it's algae. Well, and the Brits are really bad at that too. The algae, um, or herbs, or HP. Mmm. Oh, heretics. Mmm. Burn me some heretics. But here in Maine, we have a couple of places that like callus. We have callus. Over in France, it's Calais. Spelt the exact same way. Um, Except I think Calais has an accent mark somewhere, and callus does not. And part of the reason that I like to mimic accents, because sometimes in order to say a word, you got to know the accent. But there are some words that, even with the accent, I cannot say improperly. Like, it pains me to say tortilla. I can't even say it incorrectly. Well, there's like Terrio, Thibodeau. There's those have a lot of vowels in the wrong order. Like the French just seem to like to put all the vowels. Um, Bernier, Bernet. Yeah. Yeah. It's there are some languages that I am not so great at. Um, I have trouble with the proper traveling of pitch with the with Vietnamese and and Japanese and Mandarin. They all have very like fa. You have to go fa. It has to have that upward swing. It's fa. Um, cause uh or fo. It's yeah, the faux how is is a restaurant like 50 feet away from me. Um, and I was having a conversation with the owners about how the Vietnamese language is very dependent on where you're emphasizing your vowel tones. And I'm like, no, no, anglais, por favor, anglais. I'll go through the two that are anglais, por favor, French and Spanish. Just because I forget how to say please in French. Okay, got another. I'm almost down to the bottom of the page here, but I still have quite a bit of traveling left to do. We're gonna do that, and then we're gonna go here on this level. Okay, I'm very confused. Okay, this did. Oh, oops. I have to pull some stitches. I'm like, wait a second, this isn't adding up right. No, because I had I did this one and then okay, yeah, okay. So there is actually this has a counting error in it. So I'm gonna work around it is what I'm gonna do. But that's okay. We can work around counting. So I'm gonna whip out a couple new patterns for my my crochet too. I'm going to. I'm torn. I have Megan Lap's Sea Serpent, which I have all of the colors. Like I want to do the one that she has displayed with the rainbow fins. I have more than enough white, and I have more than enough of the colors that I can do that the display model. But I also have her Merlion, um, and I want to have those out as display. I know that with the Sea Serpent, I'm probably more comfortable with my first one that I do being a display because it is a dragon and she does the dragon um she does the dragon body. Like her dragon and her velociraptor bodies are all roughly the same. So it's really easy to I've done it so many times. Well, after I get done, I'm gonna go outside and put fancy stuff on my car. Mm, mm. Maybe the counting errors in this one. Well, we'll see. We'll see where we go. We'll see how far we. Yep, it was here that there was an oops, but oh well, I'll work on it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I guess I didn't mess up counting. Well, somewhere I did. Obviously, somewhere I did, but not horribly concerned. Keep it do. I know you guys can't see it, but I have my meadow dragon just kind of sitting and staring at me. She's I have like like some of my yarn that I'm like, I'm probably gonna use this again soon. So I have a whole wall of that over here, and then I have my meadow dragon on my slider shelf for my microphone and my cameras, and just chilling. I'm like, it was meant to sit there. Just finishing out this particular piece of string by because when I went down this way and I saw that there was a mistake, I was like, nope, nope. I'm gonna line up these couple of dots over here where they're supposed to be, so that mistake or not, we can continue on our merry way. Jules is off dealing with the police. So, again, there's going to be no stream tomorrow. I'll probably be in Discord somewhere. Because when during my stream week, I keep my tower up in my craft room. In all fairness, if I want to do something else somewhere else, I have enough technology that I can just watch like TV on my tablet or on my phone, or husband creature generally has something on his computer. So I just have my crochet or my cross stitch, and I have entertainment that way. Okay, let's see. Oops, this one. Trying to decide because I have down this curve that I can do. I have a small spot right here that it will take me no time at all, along with some flufferdoos here, and then I wouldn't call it a big chunk, but I have more block color right in here, and then just like a line going down. So just kind of trying to figure out what direction I want to go in for the remaining half hour of my my time here on the interwebs. Because now that I have a functioning stove, I actually am cooking dinner tonight. Mind you, it's gonna get packed away, but I'm cooking the dinner. I'm so pleased. Like I got sick, and then like it just all kind of getting gluten for a week after finally getting like life kind of back together. It really just kind of knocked the wind out of my sails. Um, mm, I think I'm gonna tackle from from the inside down. I'm gonna tackle this little bit here. Here. Well, cheese spread is good. Funny enough, when we got the new stove, I had to. I was kind of forced to clean the kitchen a little bit. So like there's a lot less yeah in the kitchen, and I've been trying to pick away. Like I got a Swiffer thing. Work was tossing a lot of stuff, and I was like, hey, I could use that. So I have a Swiffer wand, and I've been just like using my microfiber, and I've been taking cobwebs and dust off the walls, and it's like my most favorite thing ever. There's one, skip two, and two. Actually, I'm gonna make cookies while I'm making dinner. I'm gonna make cookies because I have the oven and I have cookies. Mind you, they are the cheapy like Insta cookies. Like I don't have to make them from scratch. There's not a whole lot of work. But for a gluten-free person, the Insta cookies are like the best thing ever. Okay. I'll check I'll check my phone after stream because my phone's like way behind me and I'm just not feeling motivated today. I didn't even set any mini goals today. I was just kind of glad to be able to get on stream and be here. Like I miss streaming when I'm not able to. And while yes, it frees up a lot of time for me to do very mundane, boring stuff, um, it's not the same. Mundane, boring stuff like picking up a stove, cleaning my room, all that adulty stuff that meh. Actually, I got my sound system working up here, so I can, if I so choose, I can have things playing on three different systems. I've done that before. I have I've set it up so that you guys are hearing my music and I have like a documentary or something going on another screen because sometimes I just get engaged in something that's not my music. Okay, so we got these, these three. Is it those three? No, it's not. It's these. Okay, I don't trust myself all of a sudden. Oh, now that I can see the previous row. Okay, so there's we do one, two, three. That row, and then three out. Three out puts me right there. Perfect. I have. What did I do? Yesterday I finished Charizard. I I did some work on my Shopify. My shop. I need to sit down and it's one of the reasons I've been cleaning so much is I'm working on a photo area now. I have plenty of lighting. I have plenty of light pads. I have everything that I need except a nice blank area, which I have. It's just cluttered right now. So that's what I've been working on is clearing out a spot where I can take photos of my products to make people want to buy them because the AI editing process just pisses me the fuck off. Because I could do that too, but I much prefer having that tactile. I know how to edit photos. Sometimes I half-ass do it, but I know how to deep down. I know how to make photos really high end. But meh. I'm great for doing it for other people, but doing it for myself, yeah. So it's something I need to do. Is even if it's just a matter of getting the photos taken and then in my downtime, just working on it on like my phone or my tablet, getting the ideas going. But sometimes my brain says no. I still have like one of the things I really want to go through, clean and organize is that over on this side. Let's see if you can see my arm. The foreground here, the amazingness that is my arms. But over the shelves over in this direction that you guys can't see, um, they need to be like cleaned, reorganized, and reshuffled because a lot of the stuff that I have up in there actually has new spots with more room. And I just haven't gotten a lot of the stuff from the shelves into those new spots. So it's just there. As I work with it, they go to their new spots, but it requires focus. But yeah, I'm probably gonna probably bring baby dragons to work, and then at least the orange to start working on the decorations for the next meadow dragon because it doesn't require stuffing. Even though I'll have stuffing because the baby dragon requires stuffing. So the next meadow is going to be it's gonna have uh little round little round wings. They're called dragisect wings. It's gonna be like a very little round, um, very petite uh version of the meadows. I mean, as petite as they can get. They're all huge. It's gonna be laying down. It's gonna just be like super cute. uh, I have my totes right now. My totes are working for right now. What I want to do is I need to clean that out the space that's above me. I need to like clean it out. And I need to start on the base level construction because that is eventually where my streaming's going to be. Like um it's going to be the stream studio. So in the background I want to have like the yarn and the cross stitch and stuff like that. So um but I need to get it down to base level so that I can have start building up my custom because it's a the pitch of the roof. Like I'm small enough that I will have no problems fitting in there, not a problem at all. But uh, though I might I might go wild and crazy, and since you would be surprised at how hard it is to find, even in custom, a 23 and a half by 23 and a half window. So I might have to to do the whole make it a bigger hole kind of thing, which is terrifying, but I think I can do it. Okay. That is just one of the hardest things like in these particular one of the things that I need to do the most and it's hardest to do is every time I get a stitch done to mark it off because I'll lose and that's how I lose my spot and that's how these miscounts have been happening. But it also it takes away. It's like having to stop and move a stitch marker. It's like seriously. Mm. It's funny. I'm almost done the arch here. Like I thought it would take a little bit longer, um, but I was wrong. So I'll get to work on other things today, and probably tomorrow I'll do a few of the alone colors. You have to say it just like that, alone. Whew. I do like having the wide open shelving. A little annoying, yes, because a lot of my pretties like it was harder to arrange my pretty things, but at the same time, like I can see out the window. Yeah, it's all kinds of good stuff. Well worth it. No regrets. Two out and two down. Okay, because that is in fact in another area. But yeah, after 803 is done, we're moving on to 310 to do some just boring blocking. This will probably be a much faster. This is the only appearance of Divine until his next ear, and I think that's like 2 pages from his start. So let's see. Let me zoom out. How many pages are crossed? So it's okay. So this is the first part. He has a smidge of his ear on the next page we'll be working on, and then so there are 6 pages, 6 pages across, like across the entire thing. So two, two and kind of three, and then kind of four, five, and then I dread what page 6 is going to be. I think it's all going to be one color, and I think it's a whole fuck ton of 939, because it's an outer edge, and in this particular pattern, the outer edges are the 939 pages. There are quite literally pages that is just one color. Okay, so there's that. And 2 down. But, I mean, it'll mean the page moves fast because I won't have to. Yes, you do. You need more sleep. But yeah, the it's 6 pages across, and each page. Let's see. Let me give you an idea. Each page is rough, and mind you, this is roughly because we can't always be cool. Each page is roughly 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So each page is roughly 80 stitches across. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so each page is 80 by 100. So 80 stitches across, and this is roughly because there are partial pages and they get cut off in weird spots. So roughly each page is 80 stitches across and 100 stitches tall. Solid. So that's, let's see, it's 8,000 stitches a page? Yeah, 8,000 stitches a page. So once I get back into the swing of things, I generally can do 4,000 stitches in a month. Um, and that's getting back into the swing of things, which I really have been kind of shitty about doing. Um, but 'tis the nature of the beast. Mm. Mhm. two over. On. Two out. Okay. So we have done the arc over here. I am, in fact, going to drop down and do this little bit up here and then the clump of color over here. Okay. 3 and a 3 there. There's that. And there we go. Okay. Chances are I'm going to use the remainder of this string going up to get to the top of the big chunk of color. Oh. Okay. There's so much white floof everywhere. It's not even sky drugs. Skip a line. These going up with these like little spaced colors is rough. Because it's like one stitch. Go up 5. Find where you're supposed to be. And going up 2. Gonna hang out in this corner. Oh. So far, at least in this section, I've been okay. Messed up in other sections, as we've seen. Not big mess ups, just enough to be annoying. Okay. So. Okay, so there are 2 like that. Okay, here we go. Had enough to make the backward swing. 3 diagonal. Okay. 1. I'm hoping in the 10-15 minutes I got left I can get this chunk done, because that will leave me with just a little bit over here. And I can do that before next time that this thing is on air. Great. We're still on count, folks. We're still in the right spots. I don't mess up all the time. Pixie has ants in her pants. Yeah, so I'm gonna toss the dogs outside. I'm gonna go set up the new toy I got for my car. Um, Also I'm gonna fill fill my tires so that the toy works. Oh. And then I'm gonna disconnect my battery, and discharge my car, so that hopefully the sensors turn themselves off. Because the sensors that are telling me the systems don't work, all the systems work, but the sensors are telling me that they don't, and it confuses the car a lot. So I'm gonna DC the battery so that I can maybe give my car a reboot. I miss that show. Well, I for my tires, I got new caps that will read the pressure, instead of just being like, oh hey, one of your four tires is low. I actually purchased a system that will, because I have two tires that both have slow leaks, and I have a compressor in my car, so it's not a big deal. But I would just like to know which ones I need to keep an eye on. So I'm gonna go set that up. I'm gonna of course set my get my tire pressures all proper. Um, set the pressure gauge system up, and then just disconnect the battery, and then discharge it, because that's what I've been doing. I've been disconnecting the battery, but I haven't been hitting the power button to discharge it, so it hasn't been getting that full dead restart. Um, and it's above freezing today, it's very nice. I wish I could say, like, if you don't if I can't make that choice for you, Dragon. I can't. I would love to say no, no more adulting for you, but I say that as I'm getting ready to go adult. So, or quasi adult. Because then after I do the stuff with the car, I'm gonna make dinner, and I'm gonna work a little bit on. I might not even bring the baby dragon. Well, maybe. I don't know. I have two baby dragon. I have one baby dragon that I need to assemble. He's all done. Just needs to be assembled. Um, and then I have one of the limited editions. I'm always going to have two. When I have a limited edition, I'm going to have one with a white body and one with a black body. Those are going to be what my limiteds are. There'll only be two of them made, one black, one white. That's it. And I'll use the, if I have any leftover yarn, I'll use it on other things. But that's going to be like, for right now, like, I don't some of my first yarn dyes aren't like a whole lot of, like, there's not a whole lot of yarn there. I'm still getting used to the whole yarn dyeing thing. So, uh, I do not think I'm going to get this little chunk of color done on air, but I have 4 more minutes to get through whatever I am going to get through. And then I'll give some details, because funny enough, I got a lot done today. I'm almost done this color on the page, so it's just going to be dark and black for a good long time, because Well, maybe not, because I remember when I was working on Hobby and Stimmy, I could get like 600 stitches done in like an hour, just because of the back and forthness of it, and that's what it's going to be like on the pages that it's almost just one color. It's going to be a whole lot of just back and forth. Woo! I support this. Okay, and one more. Mm-hmm. I could do this for hours. I love cross stitching, and now I'm sitting here doing it, I don't want to do anything else, but I have to do other things. It's kind of why I like having the stream time, is it gives me the chunk of time to sit and stitch and chit chat if people want to. But okay. So close. So close to getting done this little chunk of color. I'm gonna finish it before I go do other thing. Go before I go torture my car. I'm gonna get the 3 lines that I have left. But I'm gonna I'm gonna hit my check mark and give you guys the stats. Okay, so today we went from 3.11% or one yeah 11% to 3.2%, which is pretty good. Did 234 stitches, not nearly as much as I thought I had, but still good chunk. I literally have like five rows right here, and then I have a small bit right here of 803 left. So 803 will be gone next time Divine Instinct is up on display in public. Um, Thursday, I'm not streaming tomorrow. Might be in Discord chat. Don't know, but I'm kind of planning on it. But again, I don't know. Thursday 9 to noon, Captain Penis. Friday 10 to 12, Captain Penis. As long as life goes as how I have intended it to go for the remainder of this week, um, that's what's happening. So be kind to yourself without harming others. Be kind to others without harming yourself. Drink your water. Take your meds. Know that I am always lurking somewhere. And I love you all and thank you for the gift of your time. I will see everybody who wants to show up